What is up, people of YouTube? I'm your host Vernon. This is Crawdad Cove. Let's fish that. Alright guys, this is actually my 10th visit to Lake Mead. We are again in a new place. This is Crawdad Cove. It's a place I haven't fished yet before. I figured for my 10th outing, learning a new place at Lake Mead couldn't hurt. Alright, so fall time yet again. The bass are chasing schools of bait fish together. This can be anywhere in the main lake. There have been videos recently about people on boats following around these little bait balls, doing a boil as they call it, where they come to the surface catching fish off them. Being a bank angler, however, I am not able to chase those bait balls. It all depends on luck whether they come close enough to the bank or not. However, I'm still going to be trying to target fish using bait imitations. It's still morning, so I'm going to start off with hard baits. Jerk bait here that I'm going to start off with. Jerk bait is a good thing to use in the fall period, as it darts around and you kind of pause, let it float, dart again, float. This erratic action from the little jerk bait causes fish to lash out at it if they are nearby. As the day progresses and it gets a bit warmer, fish tend to go a bit deeper. Then it's a good time to swap to little soft plastics. I'm gonna start off with normal fluke on upper part of the water, but later on I'll be using a weighted fluke to go down to the bottom. And of course, because we're fishing Crawdad Cove, figure it would help to use some crawdad imitations, see if the fish live up to the name of the cove. First fish, guys. Yeah. Alright guys, our first bass for the day. Nice little small largemouth bass. Let's get him back into the water. And off he goes. guys, tiny little largemouth bass. Let's get him back into the water. Alright guys, hopefully I can land this guy. It's on. Alright guys, on fishing this little shelf part, suddenly saw a school of baitfish boiling around. Cast my lure in there and managed to hook my first striped bass. Quickly gonna get a measurement on this guy. Alright, so 0.96 kilograms. Thinking a 2 pound, almost a kilogram. Nice little striped bass. Alright guys, I'm gonna release him over here. Depths he goes. Alright guys, off camera just hooked a smallmouth bass. That makes it smallmouth bass, largemouth bass and a striped bass for the day, meaning I have my bass trifecta for the day. This is my first smallmouth bass from Lake Mead. I'm gonna release this guy over here. And there he goes. Alright guys, this one's hooked a bit bad. But luckily it's not near any major organs. Small little largemouth bass. Gonna get him back into the water. And off he goes. Alright, so on my second trip to Lake Mead, this was actually way back in spring, before I started making my videos, I hooked a big largemouth bass, got so excited, and in this excitement I lost that fish. Since then, I've tried to actually remain calm and try and focus on what it is that I'm busy doing rather than getting all excited. Because of this, I don't actually seem that excited about catching this little striped bass. However, I would like to explain to you guys. So most fishermen actually have a bucket list, whether it be catching sturgeon up in Canada or arapaima in the Amazon or getting a tigerfish from the Zambezi River. I, however, don't like calling it a bucket list, as I don't intend on kicking anything, so I call mine a wish list. My current location in the US grants me 5 of my wishes from the wish list. The first one would be to go inside the Grand Canyon and doing some fly fishing on the Colorado River trying to catch some trout. I would also like to get my first brook trout, my first brown trout. The fourth one I actually already did. That would be to get some smallmouth bass. And then the last one would be to catch striped bass. So why striped bass? Well, striped bass is an oceanic fish. They spend most of the time in the oceans and they come into the rivers for breeding. Now, whether these fish were caught up in Lake Mead when they dammed up the waters, or whether these fish were stocked, I don't know. But to me, the idea of catching a striped bass in Lake Mead was just one of those things that I had to do. Alright, so then I was successful in catching this little striped bass from Lake Mead, but the way it happened was just, I walked out onto this little plateau, was just ready to do the cast, and then 30 or 40 feet in front of me, these fish started jumping out of the water, like they call a boil. The water literally looks like it's boiling as the fish try to get out of the way. Cast my little spinner straight in there, and literally on the second crank, that fish just completely hammered my little spinner bait. Sadly, I didn't manage to get any of this on camera, as you guys saw the problems with the batteries on the GoPro. However, I was very excited about this catch, and then just to put a cherry on top of the icing on top of the cake, managing to get that small little smallmouth bass, which gave me my first trifecta for Lake Mead. It was just the perfect day. Alright, so enough wafting from me. Thank you guys for watching. If you're feeling generous today, hit the subscribe button to help out my channel. Feel free to leave any comments. Thank you for liking and sharing, and I'll see you next time.